For this project here, we have two YZ 250 two-strokes. Glen Helen has a 24-hour race. They also have a 6 and a 10-hour. The 24-hour race being an endurance race that usually on a team. Some guys will solo it, but most of the time it's a team. And we have a vet team that we've put together the last 2 years on the same two bikes. This bike and this other one here are going to be used at the 24-hour race this year with a vet expert team. And so we're going to show you some of the things we do to this bike before the race, during the race, after, things to watch for when you're building an endurance race bike, what you want to have this thing be set up for. So luckily, I'm not actually going to be riding. We're in a 3-year drought in Southern California, so I put together a team of victims that want to do this, that enjoy torturing themselves a bit. So I can help put it all together, and then we're going to watch how they do and see if these two bikes hold up through all the rigors of a 24-hour event. The entire motor was rebuilt this year with a complete new bottom end kit from Hot Rods and a Vertex piston. The cylinder was also replated by Millennium. We haven't done any porting. We left it all stock. The head is stock. We run a mix of pump gas and avgas to add some octane to our fuel for long lasting. We also run straight avgas when we're in any sandy or muddy conditions to really prevent any detonation. The fuel you can buy, the pump fuel today, is not nearly as good as it was years ago. We make sure all of our lines are zip tied away from the muffler and exhaust to keep anything from burning. In this bike, for off-road use, we've installed the Recluse EXP Core clutch setup. It's a full auto clutch, or you can use it as a regular clutch just like you would on a brand new regular dirt bike. Or you can use it and reduce arm pump by not having to use the clutch nearly as much. Really good setup from beginner to pro. Even for guys that are intermediate to pro, it'll help them make it faster by not having to use the clutch as much. So with this installed, the bike completely freewheels. There's no engine braking at all. So this bike has been through already a lot of time and a lot of races, racing the 24-hour last year and a lot of tough races in between there. Keep a lot of strong parts on here. Excel A60s from FTM, really strong rim. We keep those on there, and this one's an 18-inch, so it allows us to run the Dunlop AT81 off-road tire. We'll run a rear disc guard. This one's a Scott's. We have some zip tie products with the chain blocks. It makes it a little quicker for axle changes with that setup. We run the FMF Fatty matched up with our Shorty muffler. The FMF Shorty provides great power. Not spark arrest legal, but good for our 24-hour race. The Moto Tasneri reed cage, that's their V-Force. It's really what they're known for, is two-strokes and reed cages, and these things really work well in the YZ 250 two-stroke. So on both these bikes we have two different stator setups, one with Trail Tech and one with an E-line setup for the higher output Eclipse HID. The larger stator cover requires an offset shifter, as you see. Okay, so since we are running at night, we're going to have two good light setups for both bikes. We have both of them are Trail Tech lights. We got the Eclipse HID and also the X2 setup on the daytime bike or the backup bike for nighttime. Really good quality lights are a must for any overnight racing. If you're just trail riding at night, obviously not nearly as critical because you're not worried about speed as you are in a race. Here where we've mounted the light, we didn't want to do any damage to the fork tubes with the clamps, so we've installed some rubber tube from an old tube we had laying around. Glen Helen isn't too bad for brush and trees, but you still want to run some handguards in case for roost, and some tight sections will try to grab your front brake especially, so you'll want to get some handguards on there. Here we have some good simple Tusk handguards. Really nice simple addition here. The Trail Tech X2 headlight provides good lighting power for our machine. Not as strong as the Eclipse HID, of course, but that requires much more stator power to run. CV4 hoses give us a cool look and also aid in cooling. Works connection radiator braces, really important in off-road riding or racing to help prevent any serious damage when you lay the bike down. We also run the Works connection perch for the clutch as well. For this bike, for long use, we've gone with a steel sprocket that this team's running to last the entire 24-hour and then some. Here we're running a Regina chain that is got lots of time on it. It's an O-ring chain, holds up really well. The TM Designs parts, really strong, really durable, very good for off-road use. Tusk oversized front rotors are a great way to add some stopping power to your bike. Attack made us some custom graphics for both bikes. Travis at Moto Seat made us some custom seat covers to match the graphics, and they hold up really well over long use. Front and rear on both bikes are running Dunlop full mousse tire inserts. This allows for no worries about flats. Of course, in any long off-road race, fuel is a major issue. You want to have a large tank, and here we've gone with the IMS oversized tank. Okay, so you can see what it takes to put one of these things together. Two-stroke's still a good bike to do this with. Ideally, using a bike that comes with a lighting coil stock is a whole lot easier, less hassle. But a good bike, fun, and we got a good group of guys. We got 6 guys that are going to do this in the vet class, and they have fun regardless of where they finish. They always like to have 2 guys in the pits at all times in case when the guys come by there's a problem, he's got something broken, he needs new goggles, whatever it be, he's able to stop by the pit. Even with this big tank, these bikes still use a lot of fuel at race pace, so they're stopping about every hour, switching riders, adding fuel, getting the next guy out. So that's about all there is to it. So we'll see how these guys do, and read the story, check out everything we did to these YZs.